I'm Pete White.
I'm Stephen Mowry.
This is John Fitch.
I'm George Griffin.
I'm Michael Davis.
Hey everybody, this is Island Fight CEO Dean.
Hello, world! How's everyone doing out there, guys? This is Dave from the Fight Bananas podcast. Man, what a great show we have for you guys today. Been wanting to have him on for a while. Met him at Island Fight 60, Columbus, Georgia. He was coaching in the corner for 3 or 4 of the amateur fighters, and then he was also in the corner for Al Martinez, which was in a great fight. Big underdog to Askar, and was one of the fights of the night. Really good fight. And, honestly, it was great. They were talking about how great he was as a coach, and then we hung out afterwards, and I was like, man, I got to get this guy in the podcast. Just seemed really fun. We had a good time after the event, so we're gonna get him on. And he's also main eventing. He's gonna be main eventing that King of the Cage Rumble on the River 3. That's November 8th. So definitely give him a follow, guys. It's Kamrin Naville. Big fans. Great coach in the game. American top team. We're definitely gonna talk to him all about it. But real quick, before he gets on, let's get it, guys. Warhammer Fightwear. I just cannot be we're just so thankful and grateful for them. What a great team we have. Warhammer Fightwear, guys, they have some of the best gear in MMA. I'm telling you, I wear it. You know what I mean? Like, I can say, hey, this is what's really happening. I wear the gear. The shirts are incredible. So, guys, give them warhammerfightwear.com. Check them out on Amazon. And, of course, guys, go on Instagram. Go on Facebook. Warhammer Fightwear. Definitely check out our family, too, at nstillnutrition.com. On Instagram, the real Nstill. But they just did unbelievable work on their website, Nstill Nutrition. They have this great thing of their team, their pro team. Brock Weaver, Alex Nicholson, Mike Beast Boy Davis. It's just on and on and on. It's unbelievable. They just got Sherrard Blackledge, who we just had on the Fight Bananas podcast. You know what it is. Nstill Nutrition. Give them love. Give them follows. Fusion CBD products. Go to fusioncbdproducts.com. Man. Also Manscaped. You know what it is. Lawnmower 2.0. They have wipes. They got cologne. Put in that special promo code DVA20. Man. I think we just paid the bills right there. We really did. Here we go, guys. Kamrin Naville coming on the Fight Bananas hotline. All right, guys, on the hotline, Kamrin Naville. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Man, doing great. Right before you got on, I was like, Island Fight 60, Columbus, Georgia, and it was just funny. A lot of the people were like, hey, that side, because you had like 2 or 3 amateur fights before the pros.
Me?
Oh, no, like what you were coaching.
Oh, yeah. No, I just had that one kid.
Oh, just one, Anson?
Yeah, just that one.
Okay.
Anson Swindle, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know who it was, but like 2 people came up. They're like, oh, they got the advantage. They got Kamrin over there. I was like, wow, okay. And so first of all, let's start with there. Do you feel more pressure coaching younger people, even older people, coaching itself, or you yourself getting in there for a fight?
Man, that's a good question. I would say I feel more of the pressure coaching because I'm not in control. It's like being in the passenger seat of a race car.
Right.
And, and I'm trying to coach the guy through how to drive his car, but I can't turn the wheel or hit the brake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. It's I get more nervous when my family and my best friends and all that, they're fighting the thing. I have no control. You know what I mean? It's all on them. It's just it's crazy. It's nerve-wracking. How did you feel? Al Martinez was on the pro card. We saw you guys afterwards, and how did you feel the whole night? UFC Fight Pass, Island Fights. How put a bow on that Columbus, Georgia show? Man,
they definitely hit Georgia very well, very clean. Great promotion, ran smooth. A lot of these events, they don't always run as smooth as you would like, Right. But everything was on time. Everything was clean. Everything was perfect, professional on their end, which is, how we try to keep it on our end. I wish the guy would have stood up with us like he talked about. If you watch the pre-fight, interviews, he was hyping himself up to stand up on his feet. And we were excited about that. I think about after 3 minutes of in 25 shots, that guy was like, "Nah, I don't want to stand there anymore."
Wow, that's funny that Askar, actually, I had him on the show a week or 10 days after Island Fights, right? And he talked about that. He was really blunt about it. He wanted to stand up more, but he couldn't. Al Martinez's that straight left was just getting through. And he said it after, even on the UFC Fight Pass. He goes, I just didn't know how to counter it. It was just, I kind of felt, he just was kind of lost in a way, and he took it to the ground. And then, we talked about it after the fights, when we were out there.
And then Al felt lost.
Right. He goes, it was like 2 seconds. He goes, like, I talked to Al afterwards. He goes, like, 2 seconds of just not doing anything, and it was like over. I'm like, yeah, that's the fight game, brother. That's the fight game.
Yeah. Exactly.
But let's talk about you, man. Main eventing, King of the Cage, Rumble on the River 3. This is November 8th. It's right around the corner. How you feeling? Are you done with camp? Are you resting, or you got a couple more things to do?
No, I keep polishing all the way up until the Wednesday before.
Okay.
We just tone down heavy on anything high risk.
Right.
We're not going in there with any small gloves. We're not going in there. Nothing high risk. I mean, obviously, you get in your car and get in an accident on the way, but we just try to keep it as safe as possible because, we go hard up until, 6-8 weeks out. We push. As you get to 2 weeks out, you kind of want to tone it down and just kind of sharpen the sword, keep it clean, keep it ready.
Absolutely, man. And so this is in Augusta, Georgia. Is it like for you a home field advantage, or you feel really comfortable fighting there in Augusta?
Yeah. I think it would be more of his home field than
right.
anything because he's an Atlanta kid.
Yep.
But to me, it doesn't matter where I am, and I love that it's close enough that my people can come.
Yes.
And King of the Cage is a big promotion. Main event of that is quite an honor. It launched a lot of guys. Rampage Jackson, Uriah Faber, you can go on.
Legends, man. Those are legends.
Yeah, yeah. And you can watch them on King of the Cage, you know what I mean? And I've fought guys. I fought so many guys, not before they went to the UFC, after they were in the UFC, trying to fight their way back. Some of them made it back in there. I've finished guys that are in the UFC right now that are 16-1. They're 16-1. It's like, oh, well, who's the one? I'm the one.
Right.
I just, I've got a few hometown decisions that could swing either way. The fights that I'm taking on short notice or up in weight classes. And I'm a fighter, man. If you tell me, hey, Cam, you want to fight that wall? I'm like, I'll fight that wall. What's the check like?
Right. Wow. So, Cam, man, you nailed two big, broad topics that we really do. We talk a lot on this show about. So we'll definitely tackle both of them. For one, you said hometown decision, and we're just been adamant about UFC and MMA in general. We can't just, pinpoint the UFC. Bellator's on fire. They're signing up a lot of people. PFL, $1 million contracts. ONE FC, about to be on TNT. And down the board, Island Fights, King of the Cage, whatever, right? MMA.
Right.
Every sport, my man, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, there's a scoreboard. Everyone knows who's winning. If the Chiefs are dominating the ball, but they didn't punch it in, they didn't get touchdowns, and they throw a pick six late, the other team, the Patriots, win, and they're on to the Super Bowl. To me, it's 2019, about to turn into 2020. The game has evolved. There's just so much money. The fighters have evolved. I need a scoreboard. We've been really talking about this, and I'm not talking about changing scoring patterns. And for one, I believe we need more 10-8 rounds. I think when you dominate a round, you really deserve that extra point. But we're not going to get into that particular detail. I'm talking about after the first round, red corner, blue corner. Boom, put up a 1. Like, that's all you need. So just say if you're wrestling or if you got the guy, you're more of the ground control, you're controlling the fight, you think you're winning. But maybe the other guy had a couple good jabs in there, struck a little bit more.
Right.
But you dominated for 4 minutes and 20 seconds. You think you won that round. After the round, then you can see, wow, that's what the judges are saying. They're giving that outside strike on the outside plate. I got to change my game up a little bit. To me, this is just common sense. Am I off on something, or did I just nail it?
No, honestly, that's the first I've heard something like that, dude. I couldn't agree more. And you're really not requesting much. You're just saying, hey,
Yes.
Someone made a decision right now in this round. Every one of you 3 judges just made a decision.
Right.
Let's make it public.
Exactly. That's all I want. I just
It
want
shouldn't
the
be private.
fighters.
They shouldn't be able to scribble it out and change their mind later.
Right.
I love that idea.
Thanks, brother.
I'm so down for that. And you know what? I could say as a professional fighter on my end, I would love to be able to look over at the end of the first round and see 1-0, and if I know that I'm doing enough, or if I need to do more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's the other thing. This is so, I've talked to 30 fighters. I've talked to agents. I talked to commentary guys about this, and a lot of people really do like it. Like, I hear your voice. I can hear, like, okay, you're onto something, Dave. A couple feedbacks that I get, and I this is my rebuttal. One is I always hear if a fighter is up 2-0, they're going to try to slow it down in the third and try to, skitch out. For one, they do that in football. If you're up ahead, you run the ball in the fourth. That's just Mother Nature. That's just the beast of the sport.
That's the game.
That's the game. But what I say, my rebuttal is, this is mixed martial arts with the greatest athletes in the world. If I tone it down a little bit, if I try to play it safe, if I get off my game plan a little bit, brother, you're going to get a flying knee. You're going to get a spinning elbow. It's just the game has changed. Like, it's not just...
And you could flip that coin the other side, and you could say, all right, the other guy knows now he's for sure down 2-0. He's going to, if he's me, he's going to floor it.
Yes, and that's what you want. You want action.
Yeah, right. So yeah, he can back off all he wants to back off. But if the other guy's a true gamer and he realizes that he's got to go and he's got to go now, then if that guy backs off and that guy steps on, get ready for a great upset.
Right. I'm loving that. And then the second rebuttal people say to me is, they're going to see, just say it was a domination round and Cam easily won it. Everyone in the world thinks it. But one judge thinks, hey, the blue corner won, right? They think they're going to get, fans or like the coaches will get on that judge. But that's what they do in the NBA. You know what I mean? The NBA makes a bad call that, I've been to games. Hey, ref, you suck. Ref, you suck. That's just part of it.
Right.
And two, guys, you're coaching mixed martial artists. I saw you coaching there at Island Fights. You're in it. If you're off your game for a second, you ain't looking around at pretty girls. You're not looking around at the judges. You're into the fight yourself. You said it was more drama. It's more intense than me fighting. I just don't think it's the coaches will, argue with the judges in the middle of a round. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, even then, that's not the place or time. You got 60 seconds to focus on the task at hand to change the tide. That is what it is. At least now you know what it is, and you don't have to wait for a surprise at the end.
Yep. I'm telling you, this is the Fight Banana Scoreboard. Dana White, I just want 2% of this. That's all. You know what I mean? I'm not asking for much.
No, that's not much. Well, settle for 1 and you win.
Right. 1% of $1 billion. I'll take it all day, every day. The second thing is, too, we talk a lot on the show is weight cuts. And we came up with it. This has been going around for over a year on this show and just seeing back and forth. This is our take. And tell me if you like it, don't like it, if your hot take on it, bad take, whatever. Okay, so if you're going to be a welterweight for this camp, just say your main event in Rumble on the River 3, you're going to be a welterweight. When you sign the contract, if it's 2 weeks out on a short notice, a month, or even you got an 8-week camp, whatever it is, 18 pounds or less in that weight class. Any weight class you're going to fight in, if you're a lightweight, at 155, you got to be 173 or less when you sign the contract. You like that idea?
It's hard for me because as a guy, I cut a lot of weight.
Right.
And people look at me and they're like, oh, he doesn't cut any weight. He's a small guy. But I think it's just my genetics and the way that I'm built and the water that I carry. I mean, that's fair. I'd say 2 weeks out, that's fair. But I mean, like, for this camp, I've had plenty of time. I was already in shape, a little bit of shape before it, but I started my cut at like 185, 188.
Right. So you're in that.
But here's the thing. Right now, we're 2 weeks out. I'm only 160, 66 yesterday.
Right.
167 yesterday.
And
so
to me, it's just one, it's a safety thing, longevity for fighters. Sometimes the fighters cut so much weight. It takes, no one really knows yet. We haven't been in the game, right? Only 15, 20 years. We haven't seen a 72-year-old MMA fighter that's been cutting 30 pounds for 5 years. Right. You know what I mean? So, that, for one, it's a safety hazard. And two, I just think it's a, not saying it makes things more fair, because I don't want to say it like that, but it gets people in the right weight classes. I feel like sometimes there's just, a guy who can just cut weight a little bit. I feel
like there could be more weight classes.
Oh, I agree with that. 165 is just all day. Like, this is just
common sense.
Yeah, 155, 165, 175. It's, what are we doing,
Right.
And even if you want to make it even, I'm fine with that. If, some people are just, they see things in tens. If you want to say, hey, guys, we're going to do 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, something of that nature, I like that too, Right. But, that's weight cuts and scoreboard. These are just topics, big button topics. Almost every guest on, we kind of go into it. But, okay, definitely talk about your gym. I definitely want to hear more about it. And how did you get in that gym and all that nature?
So, I was fighting, I fought a bunch of amateur fights, won a world title out in Iowa back when they let you fight a bunch in one weekend.
That's the best, right? I miss those days.
Dude, it was cool. I could go out there and I got 5 fights in a weekend. You can't beat that.
That's crazy.
And, I came back and Georgia had just changed their rules and made them super aggressive. So when I was an amateur, I wore professional gloves. I threw knees to the head. I could ground and pound. I went 5-minute rounds. As an amateur, the only difference between my amateurs then and the fights that we had and pros was that pros threw elbows and amateurs didn't. Okay. So so back then, and I've been a pro for over 10 years. I was fighting professionally at 19 years old.
Wow.
And by the time I was 20, I was fighting Junior Asunsao co-main event on King of the Cage. At 20 years old. He was 28, just got let go by the UFC.
That's insane. Insane.
Dude, I fought him to a decision. He didn't put a mark on my face. Wow. I did a front flip kick. KOTC, let me get a highlight reel. Dude, right. I literally went from standing with him. He waved me in. Oh, come on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Because we had some words at weigh-ins. I think he thought he wanted to stand up with me. Askar thought he wanted to stand up with my brother Al.
Sure.
But then the same thing happened. Same thing happened with me and Junior. I hit him, and then you got me doing front flip kicks that are, grazing the hairs on his chin. First thing he did was shoot right after. But my jiu-jitsu game is good, so he didn't sub me. I was a white belt, 20-year-old white belt fighting Junior Asunsao after his UFC career to a decision on King of the Cage.
Dude, that's
at
epic,
20
brother.
years old.
That's epic, man.
As a white belt, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was that guy. I would take those fights. I didn't know any better. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so I took that big fight, and I was real young, and I was doing really well. And the only way that they gave me that fight was because I knocked out Steven Ledbetter, who was 13-1, and his only loss was a split decision in WEC. So that got me the fight him. So those are two ranked guys in Georgia, and here I am, 19, 20 years old, fighting them like that. I had, no one else wanted to fight.
Wow.
So I moved down to Miami. My biological dad finds me on MySpace. That's how old I am. My dad found me on MySpace. For these young kids who don't know what that was the beginning of social media.
Right. That was before Facebook. It was not BC before Christ. It's BF before Facebook.
Right. And I totally I took it. He was like, "Hey, why don't you come down here? You can live with me." He didn't know me my whole life, so I went down there. I lived with him for a couple of years, and I fought two of the state's top 5 guys. I fought Shaw Babonis from Freestyle Fights, and he's ATT now, super good MMA fighter, pro boxer. I knocked him out at the Hard Rock Casino, and then I fought JP Reese, who was undefeated all time, All American Division 1. I'm the one that beat him the first time. And that opened me up to fight Alon Cruz for the Florida State title. And I'm the one who beat Alon Cruz for the Florida State title on pay-per-view. So all these dudes, these are all the dudes, you know what I mean?
This is crazy.
Why have I not got a check yet? You know what I mean? Like, all these guys get checks. I'm the one that makes it exciting. If you watch any one of our fights versus me and any one of the guys I just listed, I'm out there trying to make it. I'm the people's champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here making it entertaining one way or another.
Man, I love this, bro. I got goosebumps on goosebumps right here in the studio, my man. I'm loving this stuff. So, okay, you just said about the check. What do you think? Do you think you're 2-3 away? You never know, man. In the game, Dana White Contender Series.
Yeah, it's all about who sells tickets, man. But I guarantee I put 2 or 3 more behind the people that I'm beating now. I don't see why not. Like, there shouldn't be. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be. And I got a story like nobody else. Like, so then I left my biological dads down there in Miami because I just didn't like it, man. I didn't like the culture. Wasn't me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I was born there, lived there till I was like 14, but then the next 10 years of my life I spent in South Georgia, and like the culture here is different, you know? And, so I wanted to come back, and I came back. And when I came back, my home school in my little town of Valdosta, Georgia, went from like 30 amateur fighters and 10 pros to nobody. To like 5 guys. And I asked them, I was like, dude, where'd everybody go? And they're like, when you left and went to Miami, everybody, it was me, I was one main guy, and then one other guy who's a great fighter, great pro, Brett Chisholm. And he moved to Athens because he saw how important it was for us to spread out. Like, we had to leave. And, so we did, but when we did, like, everybody here basically just fell off.
Wow.
So the guy who owned it was like, I'm going to close it. And he's like, I just got so much going on in life. I just can't handle it. And I had just got a couple fight checks from South Florida, and I used that money to move back. So I was like, hey man, let me get this gym from, I was 23 years old. I was like, let me get this gym from you. I think I can make this work. I think there's something here. I can't let it die. You know what I mean? Like, this is
right.
Where I started, you know?
Man, you're like LeBron James, bro. Like, when you leave Akron and when you leave Cleveland, the Cavs just die. They go away.
That's what happened. And so I came back and bought the school from him for nothing because it was just like a 600 square foot, like 800 square foot, like little hole in the wall.
Okay.
It was just a little fight hole. And in 3 months, I was in the black. And then 6 months, we were doing well. And then combined with some people that made all these dreams, we'll do this and we'll do that and we'll do this and we'll do that, but they just didn't live up to it. They were just talking stories. So I ended up separating from them a year later, and I started my own place again, like literally 5 days after I left them, and that was 2 weeks after I was saved. I started my own place again, small little place. It got bigger. So we went to a 1,500 square foot place. It got too busy. So we went to a 2,500 square foot place. Well, it got a little bit too busy. So my buddy, I couldn't really, I didn't feel like I could afford to get to a bigger place.
Right.
2,500 square foot place storefront it's no cheap business to maintain,
For sure.
And I'm a very specialized industry. This ain't McDonald's. And but we were doing well, man. Like, we were so blessed with so many good people and so many good students and leaders and mentors. And my buddy comes up to me and he's like, man, you're finally killing it. You're doing so well. I'm so proud of you. He's like, you finally getting comfortable, huh? And I was like, yeah, man, this is finally getting there. And he goes, yeah, comfort's the killer of progression. And I found you a new building that I think you need to move into. And sure enough, we go look at this 5,000 square foot standalone building, and my rent's double, my overhead's double, but he's right. If I stay there and stay comfortable, I'm not going to grow. That's all I'll ever be. That's all it's ever going to be.
Sure.
And so we took that little leap of faith. Went to that bigger facility. It was hard, man, hard for probably the first 6 months, and then we just started growing and growing and growing, and now our team is busting out of a 5,000 square foot facility. And
That's
when
amazing,
I started my first gym, man, all I owned was a bicycle. I worked a construction job for $7.25 an hour for 40 to 60 hours a week. I would ride my bike to work, and then I would ride my bike to the gym at night. And I'd ride my bike to work, and I'd ride my bike to gym at night. And that was I just kept building my gym, and everything I had, every piece of me is invested. It was, and it is now, completely invested in that gym, in that facility.
Right. Wow.
And it's everything that I got. It's all that I got. You know what I mean?
Man, brother, what a great story. For one, big respect to you. I admire people that go for it. For one, kind of go for it, their dream, their passion, all that stuff. And then two is, it's just, we mentioned MySpace, and so we're going to go there. I think, we're same age in that area. It's just the kids nowadays, all these people on the way up, they want it right away. They want instant gratification. They just want clicks, and it's just like no one sees all this hard work, all this grind, everything that we do to get to where we're at. And we're still not, satisfied at all.
Still not anywhere. Yeah. We're nowhere near satisfied, but yet nowhere near our potential, and yet so far from where we started.
100%, man. God, I love this. This is great stuff right here. Wow. Main eventing though, brother. We're 2 weeks away. King of the Cage. I love it. I'm so excited for you. You're 2-3 away, especially I know Dean Toole, Island Fights, liked you a lot. We loved hanging with you after the card, so you never know. That could be a possibility. I think Columbus, Georgia, it went so well. The arena was fantastic. The fights were great. I think we're going to come back there, early 2020, kind of that spring-ish. So we'll see what happens. But if you're ready, man, I got like kind of 8-10 questions, funny questions, kind of like random stuff, and we call it going bananas. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Kamrin, Naville, here we go. Dog or cat person?
Dog all day.
For sure. Favorite sports team?
Oh man, y'all don't hate me. The Miami Dolphins.
Ooh, man, I'm a Buffalo Bill guy, so we're going at it after the fight. We'll do a sparring session.
Hey, at least we're loyal fans. To anybody listening to the young kids, don't just jump teams because
100, right? Like they like Golden State Warriors, and now like they like the Baltimore Ravens because Lamar Jackson. But it's like, come on, you didn't like the Baltimore Ravens. They've never
been to Baltimore in their life.
I know. It's like you haven't seen a game. Come on now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I said sparring partner. That's on this piece of paper. My next question: who's your least favorite sparring partner?
I don't know. Should I say that publicly?
It's up to you, man. But there's every gym I go to. I've been to 30 gyms. Every gym, there's always one guy or one girl that goes 3 seconds too long. They're a little bit smelly. Right. There's always that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I got this one guy. He's like the modern day MMA Rocky. Like,
I like that.
Takes the ass whooping. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop this dude from letting you beat up on him, but he's not going to stop coming forward. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to hit him hard, but I got to hit him like 100 times to get him just to leave me alone, but he still won't leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, he just keeps trying to walk me down,
Wow.
And
I love that.
Just
I love
eating
that.
shots.
It's an underrated aspect of the game. It's almost like Colby Covington-ish. He's not super athletic. Colby doesn't have super power. His gift, his thing that he's better than almost everyone in the world is just his pressure, his constant in your face, and it's just it just melts people. It really does.
Yeah.
Your idea temperature for outside?
Ooh, that's ocean breeze or no ocean breeze?
Oh, definitely ocean breeze. That's what I is. But
all day. Well, then, bro, it's got to be 82 degrees.
82 ocean. Okay. Your go-to meal?
Go-to meal. Are we talking fight camp meal?
Let's go both. Let's go fight camp, and then after the fight, you just knocked out the guy like Masvidal, running knee to the face, and you can eat anything on this planet. What are you eating?
Oh, man. If I'm knocking him out in Madison Square Garden, I'm getting a big old pizza.
There you go. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got to get a New York pizza.
Your first celebrity crush?
I don't know, man. I didn't really crush on celebrities. I was never really big on the TV. We didn't really have the TV at the house. Okay,
that girl from Saved by the Bell. There's always one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I didn't even watch that stuff. Man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you a beach guy or a mountains guy?
Beach all day, man.
All right.
Beach all day.
Last question, one of my favorites. Absolutely, venue for what title, what organization, what opponent? What's your absolute dream fight scenario?
Absolute dream fight scenario would probably be like the Fort Lauderdale Bank America Center. I know this is going to sound super specific, but
I'll go with that.
When I was a kid and I lived with my grandparents, there was a Bank of America Center where the Fort Lauderdale Panthers play. And me and my grandfather, we would go. He took me to a couple Dolphins games. He took me to the Panthers games. And I was driving down there one day, and I drove by and saw that they were having fights. I can't remember if they were Bellator or maybe more of a smaller local island fight. You know what I mean? Something like that, like a smaller circuit.
Right.
But all I could think to myself was, man, how cool would it be? And my mom took me there to watch Stone Cold wrestle when I was a kid. All I could think to myself was, how cool would it be to be the professional athlete in the arena and compete where I was a child watching professional athletes compete. Like, and I drove by that building and I saw that. I was like, dude, that's where I want to bang in there. And I'll fight anybody for any world title. I don't care. It don't even need a belt.
Man,
Who
knows? It could be Stone Cold Steve Austin. Get inside that cage.
We're definitely slamming beers after them.
Oh, man, Kamrin, man. This is awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. Like I said, floor is yours. Any kind of plugs for your gym or any kind of social media things or anything you got going in the next couple of weeks before your fight, plug away. Man, we really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, man. Thank you, brother. ATT, Valdosta, all ATT. We stand together. We're the greatest team in the world, and the numbers don't lie. And, I love Nate Diaz, but I'm sorry, man. I'm an East Coast gangster, too. You know what I mean? So I hate to see a West Coast gangster get put down, but I think that's what's going to happen, man. And King of the Cage, November 8th, don't miss it. It's going to be exciting. All types of exciting amateurs, exciting pros. And I guarantee you, I can promise you that I am stepping on the gas and coming forward like I have for over a decade. And I'm going to deliver my message just like I have for over a decade. So don't miss November 8th.
Wow, man, we can't wait, brother. We will. November 8th, we'll definitely get you right after your win. We'll get you right back on so you can say, aha. But, man, awesome, man. Have a great, great time. We can't wait. Stay healthy. Stay blessed. And we'll talk to you very soon, brother.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.